And another thing, right? This should be played in the court in sentencing at ISLEWORTH today. And it is only 8:30 in the morning. And I'm going to submit it to the court. And when you submit a complaint to a court, it is actually official. It's an official representation, particularly when it's concerning a legal case, when it is in the interest of the public. Particularly, that's why on the court's complaint form, they've got a special section for how it affects you, right? So, given the fact that the claim of right, the claim of right clearly confirms that you can't be imprisoned for petitioning the government. Clearly states that you can't be imprisoned for petitioning the government, which clearly includes any activities. Why would you be being imprisoned anyway if only if you've broken a law? And it's not, it's not petitioning, it's to do with activities associated with it, for sure. He explains that in the Karen Bowie paper. But the fact is, if you can't be imprisoned, which you can't be, what is left as a punishment, even if you were convicted of criminal damage, like Gail has been convicted of criminal damage? What is left? Well, I got convicted unlawfully of criminal damage, and I got community service order, because there's not really anything else left to do unless you fine them. And, Angela Ditchfield got a fine, and it wasn't even that much of a fine. And the fact that she got acquitted and then they took her to the High Court and she still only got a fine, and that was actually using paint. I never used paint, I used paper stickers. I got more severe sentence than what Angela Ditchfield did for painting something. So, the fact there's not really anything else left than getting a community service order or getting tagged or something. But let's take, for example, if we remove imprisonment out of the question, because you're not allowed to be imprisoned, this is what we're narrowing it down to, right? The fact is that for a community service order, particularly and explicitly, when it concerns petitioning, right, not any other crime, because even under the Criminal Damage Act, we've got this right, privilege and interest. The right, privilege and interest shall not be construed as a defence against a charge. But anyway, they made a defend the charge. Now, this is the thing. With the whole right to petition and the claim of immunity, right, which the courts are completely ignoring and overlooking, so we won't go that way. We'll take it the other way. So she gets prosecuted, puts a defence in, and then they put her before a jury, and then they say she's guilty. It is an action. It is it's a set of events that were performed, claimed as part of a political campaign, and it clearly states in that 1689 Act, Petition of Right, Claim of Right Act, that you can't be imprisoned. Now, following the community service order, right, particularly since COVID and since the pandemic, that order, the 10 or 15%, or I think it might even be 30% of the hours that you get given, it doesn't matter whether you get given 30 hours, 100 hours, or 200 hours, or even more, right? Even if she were given 500 hours, right, or longer. Those hours, 30% of them or whatever it is, you can do with an online course. You don't even have to do in community service. Right? If you do, you can do like online courses for it, like training and so forth. And then also, it clearly and explicitly states, without question, that any charitable work that you have done, good work for the community, voluntary work, can be claimed. You can put in a claim, if you've got a proper lawyer, like Tim CROSSLAND can do this. Tim CROSSLAND can do this for Gail, but he doesn't need to, because I'll tell you, right? And I'll tell this to the judge at ISLEWORTH now. I'm saying it now. This should be played in court. In fact, this is a legal submission. I've got the right to make... When this affects everyone in the country, particularly me and other people, I've got an actual right to a court when an outcome of a case affects me, because it's a legal principle that is applicable to everyone immediately, right? Those community service orders can be fulfilled with charitable work that is submitted to the probation service or CPS, can be recognised, right? You can submit charitable voluntary work, because that's what community service is. And they started doing that through the furlough period, because I've got it written down on a piece of paper from the probation service, right? Now, this is the thing, right? One, who decides what is good work and what is not good work? And when it comes to charities and registered charities, firstly, a charity, you can have a registered charity. If it's registered with the government and it's got a charity number, that is officially declared by HM government as a good cause, a charitable cause, right? And it does voluntary work. But that charity could be a dog, it could be a dog home, a dog rescue centre, it could be Help the Aged, it could be Oxfam, it could be, whatever, right? It doesn't change the fact that it is a good cause by how many people support it. A charity, you could be having £10,000 of donations a day, £100,000 of donations a day, or 50p of donations a day. If it's a registered charitable cause, right, it is officially with government a registered charitable cause, right? You could be washing dishes for old women, like, or whatever, like, Salvation Army. Well, the Salvation Army is a charitable cause, and that's what I did my community service work at, right? But it doesn't matter how much money they're making or how many donations they get. It's to do with the fact of, is it good work or not, and is it official, right? So you could be washing dishes for Salvation Army, or shampooing poodles for dog rescue. Even if they're only getting £5 donations a day for the whole country, it's got nothing to do with how much money they're making, by the way. It's if this is really an officially declared good cause, right? Now, riddle me this. Riddle me this. Is a democratic organisation or any other charitable cause, registered charity, or registered organisation where people donate money to it, is that on government's records an official charitable cause when people are making donations to it, like non-profits? Because you can have a non-profit science lab that is accepting donations. It's non-profit. Are you doing good work if it's a non-profit, not-for-profit science research lab doing corona work, or doing work on disease research, not-for-profit, voluntary? You can have it registered, right? These are the non-profits under 501c3 in America, non-profit organisations, research labs and so forth. They do good work because they're not making money out of it. They're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, furthering the government have got loads of them invested in it. Now, if you've got research labs doing work for the government, helping them do vaccines and so forth, for free, they're going in for free. This is why lawyers and barristers and judges and solicitors like to do pro bono work. They like to do pro bono work. That's why it's called pro bono. Oh, look, it's not because it's called Bono from U2. Boner. Oh, we're going to give him... I've got a boner here, right? The pro... Who is the pro boner? Well, if you've got... These people are claiming immunity all the time because they're doing legal cases. So they claim, yeah, pro boner. Who are we going to do this time? Right? They're doing charitable, voluntary, legal work. How much more goodness can you do out of your heart? Oh, look, it's Tim CROSSLAND. He's doing good charitable legal work. And look, there's Joylan Mohan. He's volunteering his time, free time, to the community for free legal help to charities. And he's doing legal work for Oxfam and legal work for dog rescue. It's free voluntary work for a community good cause, officially registered. Now, riddle me this. What is Extinction Rebellion? It is a registered cause. People donate money to it, right? They give money, donations, and a section of the public, or the public at large, or a section of the public think it's a good cause, right? That's why they give money to it. They think the work they're doing is good, a good cause, right? Now riddle me this, right? In the Referendums Act, it says to publish means to make available in any form or by any means to the public at large or any section of the public for a referendum campaign. So even a section of the public. So Extinction Rebellion have got a section of the public supporting them. Save the Dogs has got a section of the public supporting them. It might be a very small section. So has Help the Aged has got a section of the public supporting them. Oh, look, that's funny. Every single one of these charities has got a section of the public supporting them. How big a section? Well, actually, there's a guy in Lowestoft on Pudlington Street. He's got a charity. What do? Oh, I rescue snails from the pavement. It's fully registered with the government. Oh, look, it's a registered snail charity, and he's a hedgehog rescue centre. It's registered with government. It's officially good work. People are giving money to it. That's on the books, yes. How much money? Well, not much. We're getting about £100 a month donations, you know. It doesn't say how much you have to make to be doing good work. It's either good or bad. Who says it's good? The people who donate to it. Or no one, because it might be registered with government. We haven't got one donation yet, but as soon as we get some in, we'll be able to do some good work. Or if someone turns up and volunteers, right? The people who support the cause decide whether it's good or not, and the government allows it to be registered, right, as a good cause. The peers, the public, the jury, the people. Now, why is it in the Claim of Right Act in the 1620s, why does it say that when there's crimes being committed, either it has to be judged by the peers or by the rule of law? It clearly states this is the origin of the jury. Now, riddle me this. When you decide that you're doing a petition to the government and you get a registered petition number from the Petitions Committee, it's officially a cause, a case. And then when you start getting people to sign it, that is a section of the public who we think this is a good cause. That's why I'm signing it. It's not a bad one. If it was bad, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot barge pole. It's a good cause. That's why I put my signature on it. Why is it that Extinction Rebellion have got more people supporting that cause to say it's good, and they're all volunteering to work for it, than what Save the Hedgehogs has got? So if that don't qualify for community service work, what does? Tim CROSSLAND's pro bono work? So on that basis, writes off the community service sentence. And if she can't be imprisoned, and if you can claim that her work that she's been doing, that her section of the public who support it and registered organisation believe it's good work, then what sentence is left? Because the insurance has paid for the damage to the building. So at the end of the day, why convict her? Because it's like a killer loop. It writes itself off. Thus, why prosecute them in the first place? Thus, all prosecutions are illegal. Because what's the point? Because a large section of the public have supported it, which is the jury. Because in a political case, you don't go to a court like in a civil case or like in a criminal case and get the jury at the end. You get the jury at the start to support it, and then it gets debated by the MPs. It's a different proceedings. It's still a legal case. It clearly states that through Lord of the Articles and the Tumultuous Act and the rest of the acts. That's what it is. So why are they being injunctioned by local magistrates' courts? Why are they being injunctioned by Crown Courts when it clearly states that it is not to be prosecuted by the King's Bench? Riddle me that. So what's the point giving her a community service order or fine when they can't be imprisoned? There is no point. It's pointless, which is why they made it illegal.